Again, I'm back, and because I want to create a video on the question, can virus be created? So para sa uban, for those who do not understand what is a virus, kaya nakakita ako video earlier on which ni comment ko na usa ka doctor wearing his stethoscope. Of course, when you look at it, ikaw nga nagtan-aw niya as a doctor, mag-think jud ka nga because of his credentials, mag-think jud ka nga he's right, di ba? Labi nag-believer kay ka nga imong trust na lang gid sa doctor instead of trusting God, samot. But this is it. I just want, dili isa nagpaka-bright ko. But let's get to the bottom of truth as to what virus is all about. Kaya nga ng doctor dito sa video nga, mukaon daw kuno og sugar ang virus. Cancer man na iyang pasabot. Ang cancer cells, ang food is sugar. It's not virus. Kinanglan kaning misconception of things makorrect ni nato. Kay dili maayo nga mag-feed ta og misinformation, especially bearing the flag of our credential. I just want to correct that. Kanang mukaon og sugar, kanang iyang gingon na muka og sugar, it's the cancer cell that is fed with sugar, not viruses. Kaya di na mukaon ang virus. On the first place, virus has no life. What makes it something between life, living, and non-living is because, primarily, it doesn't grow in itself because it's not living. It only grows when it gets a host, a living cell. So, unsa man di ay naa sa virus that makes it between living and non-living? It's the protein. Some viruses has DNA around it. Some viruses has RNA around it. And in this case with SARS-CoV-2, it's said to be RNA. Unsa man ining RNA ug DNA? So sa tao, for multicellular living being like kita, multicellular man ta. Ang kanang bacteria, viruses, fungus, unicellular na sila. So, ang multicellular basically has DNA and RNA. Ang DNA is the code, ang RNA is the messenger. So, pasabutan na kung naa kay sinuwat diha na kay usa ka mensahe, like for example, this is the code. The RNA will bring that message to another cells. Bali messenger ng RNA. The problem with this SARS-CoV-2, ingon ang scientists, ang yang RNA at the same time DNA. That makes it complicated. As to why, only God knows. If this is a product of human genetic engineering. Kay kung ang tao gani mag-engineer ug usa ka virus, and the virus gone wild, most probably mao niyang nahitabo. Kay intention man sa tao nga testingan ang tao. So balik ta pagkat-un og unsa ning virus para di ta magpataka og storya. Kay labi na kung taas kay ang pagtan-aw sa tao sa tua because we hold the credentials to say so. Lisod na bakwion sa mind sa mga tao. So, it's very wrong to say na ang virus mukaon og sugar. It's a wrong, very wrong thing. So, please, correction. Make a rectification on that belief. Ang virus dikit siya sa living cell. Ang living cell yang himuong copying machine to duplicate itself. And since dili strange na siya, our body has its own mechanism na kung strange gani iya ng pagawson, iya ng atakihon. That's why we have our frontliners, the natural killer cells, the T cells, the B cells. Kaya mo nilang function. Pero ingon ang scientist, kaning klase sa virus karon, the SARS-CoV-2, hindi ma-detect sa atong immune cells. As to why, it's a big question mark. Kaya kanang gi-create sa magbubuhat nga immune cells, it's built that way. It's built to report, like, the cytokines, sila na ang record keep, sila na mo take down notes. I mean, sila more radio man. Na intruder. And if our immune cells cannot function as it is meant to be, there's a big question mark. It's mostly a product of human creation. Why? Tagaan ta mong example ha. Ang Diyos, nag-create siya og liver nga mo produce og glutathione. Ang tao kay bright kaayo, iyang gikopya ang molecular structure sa glutathione and it becomes a synthetic glutathione. Gi-inject sa tao, of course, ma-confuse ang system, but over time, mo-develop ra pud siya og immunity ug malibog na siya which is the natural and which is not. Okay? Ang tao gi-create na sa magbubuhat nga on its own mo-produce siya og mga binding receptors like serotonin, like dopamine. Kana sila mga chemicals nga good for the body. Dopamine is kanang depressed ka, low kayo ka, tagaan kanilag synthetic dopamine para nga mo alive ka, musaka imong energy. And that dopamine is a copy of a molecular structure of a natural dopamine that each body is creating. Imagine mo, like cortisol is produced in your pancreas, but you have cortisol out there in the market, a synthetic one. That's how bright human is. We want to copy what God has created naturally. And over time of using, of course, there's always side effects for counterfeiting. That's simple. We have so many. Ang vitamin C, of course, di na ma-produce sa lawas. But the glutathione is. Collagen. I-produce na siya sa lawas. Karon ginainom na. Actually, ang trigger sa collagen is vitamin C. Pero it is produced sa imong lawas. Carnosine. There are so many chemicals in the body. Insulin. Ang insulin karon ginatusok na because your body cannot produce the insulin that your body needs. Things of that sort. Ang tao, ganahan man mag-imbento. Ganahan mag-counterfeit. This is not about the doctors. I understand nga, dili na ng doctors for money. Daghang doctors nga missionary. Only that, the books that they're made to get the certificate stems from the very research funded by the big pharmaceutical laboratories. So of course, what is that? A Linton. What do you expect? Mag-expect mo nga para sa missionary journey? No. Don't expect that. As long as you live in a world of capitalism, and if you do not know the language that they're playing, you cannot play with them. That's simple. So, I'm here to make people, to correct lang. Kaya nakita na ko, I feel sad. Siguro, kung ako po, wa ako kasabuton sa virus, tungod kay naa siya, nakita ni mong uniform, gadala og stethoscope, mutuo jud ka, kaya, naman siya, credential, diba? And, what about those people who do not understand what truly virus is? So, by the way, virus, wala siya kinabuhi. It's lifeless in a true sense of a word. It only has protein surrounding it that makes it not living, not a living thing or a non-living thing. It's in between the two, because the protein structure there is a protein structure of a living thing, but it doesn't make it a living thing because of its protein. No, because it cannot grow in itself. Ang fungus mo grow, bacteria mo multiply, but virus in itself, no, it doesn't. It needs a host, and it needs a living cell. In fact, your own body is producing virus itself. You research that, you don't understand that virus is thriving in your system. Anyway, so can virus be created? Yes. So there are synthetic virus. Just check sa akong other videos. I mentioned there about the synthetic virus. May nangadautan sa mga third world countries kay gimong lab rats. I'm sorry. Then, what is the conspiracy theory? So, karon tungod sa mga panghitabo karon, a lot of conspiracy theory trying to link all that what is happening in the world. Ring na nini siya. Nakakita ko og post which I mentioned in other videos. Nag-claim to be a military officer in China. Ilang gingon nga that is a conspiracy theory. No, granting, it's a theory, ha? Granting a theory na siya. Nakasabot ba mo unsay theory? Kay murag tan-aw na ko, most people do not understand, and they just discredit that outright simply because it's a theory. Oh, come on. Abliha inyong mga libro. If you're a business administration student, look at your books. How many theories in there? In science, how many theories in there? In math, how many theories in there? People do not understand what is a theory. You should understand before discrediting a theory. Why? Because it passed step higher than hypothesis. You remember your science? First step in experimentation is hypothesize. That hypothesis, that is a big question mark. But when you say theory, you have to go up level and up, level up, level up. First is hypothesize. When you have question in mind, you hypothesize. Then, you test the hypothesis. When it passed the hypothesis, you have to go up to what we call a theory. Otherwise, if it fails from the hypothesis itself, there is no way up to theory. So why people easily discredit the theory when every day an academician is fed with thousands of theories in school? So a conspiracy theory has passed the hypothesis stage. So there must be something that we need to understand this conspiracy theory in place. Because this virus is linked to a theory that this is created for a purpose of carrying an agenda through psychological manipulation. By placing fears in the hearts of people, they get the mastery of fears. When people fear, they get their biggest share. And look, if there is this political agenda to make the whole world a communist world, look, it's almost around the world. It seems like communism is in place. Why? Because people fear by constant bombardments of news here and there with coronavirus death, instead of looking at the statistics of those people who are recovered and those people who are not infected. I don't know if you see that. I don't know if people understand ratio and proportion. Statistics is deceitful to those who do not understand numbers. And that causes hysteria in people because of lack of understanding of ratio and proportion. Look, this is a manipulation, which, but do not misconstrue, I'm pro Duterte. I have to have a hands up. But for me, the president is not God. The president is limited to how he can weigh in balance the perspective of the people around him. And do not forget that the people around him is fed by the system. The system here that I'm pointing out is where drugs are labeled as medicines, and the true medicine in nature is labeled to have no therapeutic claim. That is the system. Where above it, if you understand the hierarchy of all these maneuverings, the up in there in the hierarchy are the capitalist people who are funding and funding the research and feeding the educational system that we have. Sad, but it's true. I'm so sorry. It's been a long while that I kept holding this in my heart. I'm a licensed teacher myself. When I was young, I really wanted to become a teacher. And when I was in an educational system, when I was teaching, there I understood there must be something wrong in the system. I don't know if you've noticed that. Kung na-notice ninyo, kaning atong crab mentality, na gamay, na usa ka, na Filipino nga, kanang maningkamot o create og idea, tapos ni start og take off, i-pull down, we call that crab mentality, right? You know where that crab mentality starts? It all starts in the very educational system where you place your kids in. Why? Years before now, our educational system is more of competition instead of cooperation. And what do you expect? We are trying to, you know what? Corruption is not only in money. Corruption is in the mindset. And the biggest corruption is the corruption of attitude. And that attitude stems from the very system of educators who cannot even unite in one iota. You cannot even unite because one is having this, I don't understand. If you only know the division. Even when I was in college, I was a working student of the University of the Philippines. I cannot understand how intellectual people fight for position. This also is hierarchical. They're fighting for the position that is skewed up. So when you are down, you have to pull somebody down to place yourself up. This is the system. It's sad. And the same thing here, that is how politics also are structured. That you have to place yourself, you have to pull some down to place yourself up. You understand? By the way, nagkalayo na ta. My topic is virus created, yes? And what is a conspiracy theory? We are so far now. Let me come back. So why ako ni siyang gihimuan og video? Because a lot of people easily discredits theories. I don't know if they understand that in academies there are thousands and thousands of theories, because it can only become a law or a principle when it's not bendable, which means no factor can ever change that. When you say 1 plus 1 on Earth or in Mars, it's equal to 2. That's a principle. That's not a theory. But theory, it passes through different factors, to different different conditions. So this conspiracy theory that I am trying to define to you now will be a foundation for some of my videos that I will be sharing to you in the future. Because whether you like it or not, when you stop questioning, you become servant to the system. But I am not the type of person like the NPA brainwashing, because that is stupidity. NPAs are power hungry. Wherever you are now, you don't belong to people of liberty. Your idealism, your perfectionism sucks. Do not expect perfection in the world. You will end up frustrated for the rest of your life. Get out to the open and admit that you are human. That is, instead of complaining, you have to be grateful. Because the moment you complain, the moment you see the negative side of the world, you become an easy prey of this shadow government that is funding and dictating to who you are right now. You see my face. I'm not hiding. I'm not afraid of you. I'm saying this because I'm sick and tired of listening to your rallies and complaints. College pa ko? Before I close, by the way, before I close this video, I'll leave you my story. Sa college ko, first year, usually, manguan man na sila mang recruit. Okay. Mang-recruit na sila sa mga freshmen. Ako, gi-attempt ko nila. Pero na ako'y baruganan. Na-notice na ako, kasagaran sa mga leftist. No exemption, honestly. I've not seen one. Kasagaran sa leftist, bisyoso. You know what? Sa UP system, nahana siya bracketing. Sa income, bracket 1 to 3 are receiving subsidies from the taxes of people. Nag-receive, so, bracket 1, 2, 3. Bracket 4 and 5, I don't know if that is the same system today. Bracket 4 and 5, free na sila pero wala sila gidawat. Bracket 6, 7, and 8, and 9, bracket 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ang walay gidawat. 6, 7, 8, 9, muna sila nagbayad. So, bracket 6, 25%, bracket 7, 50%, bracket 8, 75%, bracket 9, 100% nagbayad sa UP system. Bracket 1, 2, 3, 4, sila po'y tigdawat. Ang bracket 5, neutral. Okay? Why gidawat? Wa po'y gibayad. As long as ma-maintain mo ang imong category. Kay ang income is bracketed, ang grade is categorized. So the category is A, B, C. So kung bracket 1 ka, you're receiving 100% subsidy. Bracket 2, 50%. Bracket 3, 70, bracket 1, 100, 75, 50, 25, something like that. And then, kung mataga ka sa imong bracket, hindi ka kadawat og subsidy. That's it. Kasagaran aning mga bracket 1, 2, 3, muning dali ra kaayo madala. Labi na og bisyoso. Ug imo makita tungod kay na ako ni brotherhood, fraternity and sorority. Na aning duha. Og ang ilahang pledge ana, kung apihon ang usa, labanan sa usa. That's what brotherhood is all about. My question is, kung imong analyson ka na siyang agenda, is not the mind programmed for war? Ang butong nasabtan ba na sa mga na brainwash din dapita? Do you need to have an affiliation para naay kampihan? Which I hate kampihan. Kung na may kampihan, you have to kampi. You have to side by the truth. You don't need affiliation. You just need the truth. If you are just enough, if you are fair enough. So that is my principle. Wa jud sila nakakonvince na ako. Until nag-abot mi sa classroom. Sa pinaka leftist sa akong classmate. Nga bisyoso sad. I don't know, asa na siya gibutang karos magbubuhat. And you know what? Di ko kalimot. Every time sa classroom, pagka noisy ang classroom, you can see me at the corner, very quiet. Pero quiet ang classroom, you can hear me speaking. Until one time, ang akong teacher from Divine Word University, chemical engineering akong first course. Bright guy. So I know the teacher is very intelligent. She's a civil engineer. Civil engineer siya. Pero tungkol sa depression, after nag-close ang Divine Word, nag-depress siya, naglublob siya, murag, of course, nag-stagnate. Medyo, na siya'y kaba, especially nga, ang imagination sa tao, pagka mo-deal ka o ka ng UP students, ang imagination sa tao, debater, mo debate nimo. I don't know, kay basta pag tungtong na ko college, ang ilad yung imagination, bright kay kay sila. I don't know, I cannot understand why. Nakaasa ilang mindset. Even now, manotice na ko, pagka UP student, feeling niya, siya na kinabrightan sa kalibutan. Oh, come on. Astaghfirullah. That's too much. Para na ako. Hambog ra ka. You know what? Di ko kalimot. Nagkurugsag ko pagsugod na ako sa UP. Kay tungod na sa mindset. Giingnan ko sa akong ka-boardmate. Nga ang tres sa UP, uno sa among eskwelahan, which is Divine Word. So kung nakatap ko sa Divine Word as chemical engineering, nag-transfer na akong UP, chances are, tres ko. Nga mag-maintain man ko grado kay self-supporting man ko. Diba magkurog jud ka? Mausad to ang gi-feel sa akong teacher. Pero knowing her capability, knowing her intelligence, kasabot ko nga, ang akong nakita sa iya on the first day sa mong klase, ang feeling, ang iyang kahadlok, mura po coronavirus, ang iyang kahadlok, nga taga UP ang iyang katubang, to a point, nga na-trap siya sa among classmate, questioning sa among classmate nga leftist. Ug didto nagdebate mi. Kami ang nagdebate because I want to defend my teacher. Kay gi-intimidate man niya ang akong teacher. Which I know nawala siya. Wa siya katubag. Dili man ka kami civil engineering nagtudlo siya og finance man siguro to yang gitudlo sa UP sa moa. Nalimot ko kay ni shift man ko dito og business administration. Finance. Murag layo ra kay quantitative. Basta something like that. It's still numbers, pero dili gyud siya engineering thing. Akong teacher nakita na ko nga luuyon siya kay after 2 years ba nga nag-agi ka sa depression, basta she changed a lot nga luoy iyang porma kay murag nitigwang na sa siya nya siguro may ako nakita sa akong classmate nya ako knowing her nga she's intelligent, I come to her defense. I cannot exactly remember how we debated in class, but ultimately nabalik na ko ang intimidation sa iya, and subsequently nag-drop siya. So every time magkita mi sa tuluman ka campuses, every time magkita mi sa business management campus, kuan jud akong buot. Kaya ako lang gingnan, you know what? Inig kada kuan magsige mo rally, you keep on complaining what the government can do for you. You keep on asking. Have you asked yourself? These are the words of John F. Kennedy. Stop asking what the government can do for you. Ask yourself what you can do for the government. Free pa mo diri sa UP? Scholar ng bayan? And here you are, complaining of your miseries, of your poverty. Well, kung makadawat mong allowances, you're there, gainom, gasigarilyo. Oh, come on. Tragic. And that bleeds me to the core. Kasagaran sa mga taong tig-complain, kasagaran sa mga tao nga, para sa mga NPA, sila to yung mga taong feeling right all the way. Nga ila na ang righteousness They feel good and have the authority to lead and govern. I guess it's time to review your position. I guess it's time to check yourself. Ang uban lang pud taon ana, nangadala lang yun. Labi na kung nabiktima sa inhustisya. Ang problema sa Filipino kay kung nakasala si Juan, i-blame man kang Pedro. Kung si Pedro ang naglingkod nga presidente, si Juan nakasala dire, ang i-blame si Pedro. Kana bang wrong targeting ba? Kana bang saag nga bala? You know what? I guess Filipinos need to understand communication arts. How it will work towards understanding each other. Kay kung dili gani na masabdan, especially kamong mga rebelde, you fall into the trap of the shadow government. You are being used. Magpagamit rasad mo. Until when mo magpagamit? To establish chaos in the world. Para, abi ninyo gisabong ragyod in town. Sila nag-fan sa extreme left, sila nag-fan sa extreme right. Nya sabungon ni siya. Para na chaos, para pwede na sila mudok-dok. We need a world order. That's it. So, good day, everyone. I hope I shared to you something of value. Maybe in my next video, mag-create sa ako o ganing outline for a video series. For now, nagkalo-halo na lang atong topic, and I'm sorry for that. Because I do not have an outline. It's impromptu. And if I mention something that hurts you, I do not intend to offend you. I intend to awaken you. You remain my fellow citizen of the world. You remain my fellow Filipino. What your hurts are the same hurts that we have. Because we are all interconnected. And whatever pains, it creates a chain of pains around us. And maybe, kung mahigmata mo, the only way para makamahigmata mo, learn to look at the brighter side of life. And you will learn to be grateful. You will learn to give thanks of every little thing that you have instead of complaining. You learn to work without depending, without asking. You learn to deal with the basics instead of a want. And you learn to be humble instead of being boastful, as if you own the universe. Good luck. And for now, thank you for watching.